Yes guys, I flipping told you so. Before we get into this, make sure you're following the Telegram, because if you're not, you can't win one of my exclusive GBFC hoodies that are on sale soon and a signed Cole Palmer shirt. And I think we're also giving away Chelsea Fulham tickets too. Get in the description and let's get into it. If Petrovic saves this from Matt Ritchie, you can call me the Oracle. We're going upstairs. Oh. Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel for 6 things that we learned from Chelsea 1, Newcastle 1 and a victory on penalties with the save from Petrovic. Just like I flipping told you in my match preview, sometimes it takes me going on a little break. I need to catch my breath a bit here. Bloody hell. It takes me going on a bit of a break to be able to see the future. What did I tell you? Petrovic would save that final penalty and Chelsea are through into the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. Incredible. My mind is actually completely and utterly blown by what I have just seen. I can't believe this. So the way that the game actually panned out, we absolutely dominated Newcastle when it came to possession. They only had really one chance in the entire match, which came from a bundle of mistakes from different Chelsea players. Levi Colwill tries to pass the ball back. It's so far away from Caicedo that even with his long limbs, he can't stretch and keep hold of the ball. Thiago Silva then gets in a bit of a kerfuffle, trying to run back and deal with the physical presence and power of Callum Wilson. And then Benoit Badiashile, who supposedly wasn't very well before this game and wasn't feeling great, the same as Enzo Fernandez, who came off, he makes an absolute calamity, which when you think about all of the Chelsea defensive calamities that we've seen this season, not just defensive ones, but there's been a lot of attacking calamities as well. This one might go down when you just put all of it together, all of those errors that led to Callum Wilson putting that ball in the back of the net for Newcastle. You could kind of see that this could be one of those days for Chelsea, but we were persistent. Badiashile makes that final error, which is why he is the first red box in this 6 things we learned video. Benoit Badiashile today probably had the worst game that we've seen from him in a Chelsea shirt. Caveated obviously by the fact that we said that he was supposedly ill, feeling nauseous, not feeling great before the match, but he insisted to Pochettino that he wanted to play. That's what I read on Twitter from Nathan Gissing. But one of those games where you just look at the way that Newcastle set out. Chelsea were dominating the possession, but it was basically all in that middle third of the pitch. We weren't really that creative going forward until the second half, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But when are we just gonna cut out those individual errors? I'm finding it difficult here to talk about the negatives when we win it so emphatically, and I'm kind of like on a little bit of cloud personal 9 as well, because I did tell you that Petrovic would save the winning penalty to see Chelsea go through. Badiashile is a red, but I've given a green for Thiago Silva, who I thought was absolutely massive today. When it came to marshalling that back line, he's got his mate next to him and he's got all of his other centre-backs next to him as well. We're going to talk about that in a moment. Thiago Silva was absolutely huge, going in with big slide tackles, trying to make those passes. Chelsea was struggling to be creative. We were struggling to get the ball to those attacking wingers in the final third. What Thiago Silva always sees is that early pass, whether that is a little clip ball over the top or a little diagonal ball over the top. I thought today that Thiago Silva was absolutely excellent for Chelsea. When it came to a back line where, once again, we're kind of just trying to put pieces together to make something stick, to make something fit, I think Thiago Silva was absolutely the shining light within that Chelsea defence. Box number 3, let me check it. Proper fullbacks at fullback, please. The difference that we saw in that second half when Malo Gusto came on early was massive. All of a sudden, Chelsea had a more direct threat from the wide areas. Axel Disasi, I didn't think, had a bad game. He made a couple of big blocks, particularly in that first half. I thought Levi Colwill is slowly growing into that left-back role, which right now for us is absolutely massive because Cucurella's going to be out for a couple of months. Ben Chilwell is always out, so we're going to need somebody to step up. And for whatever reason, Pochettino doesn't like to play Ian Maatsen at left back. He'd rather go with Levi Colwill, who I also thought was very good. He was stepping up into that midfield area to kind of overload that left-hand side for Chelsea. The problem was the wingers today. Sterling I thought was poor. Has a massive chance that he should score somehow. I don't know if it was Dubravka or if it comes off the knee of Bruno Guimaraes, but somehow Chelsea don't score. I think it was just after the half-hour mark to make it 1-1. But we need to see proper fullbacks playing in the fullback position, because in that second half, Chelsea were able to overload. We had Gusto, who loves to get forward. Yes, he might not be as good yet as Reece James when he's fit. Malo Gusto could be a special player for us. He's also very smart and intelligent despite his age with those passes, particularly in a progressive sense. So for Chelsea, we need to see Poch go. If we'd have lost this game, even if it was on penalties, we would be looking at the fact that once again we've got a back four solely made up of centre-halves as one of the issues. And when we brought on a fullback, the game changed. We were even more dominant. We were creating a bit more. Still massive questions about what happens in the final third, and it's why I've given a yellow today for Enzo, who was clearly unwell, which for a start, if he's not very well, yes, Nkunku's not ready to play, and I understand why Pochettino may have started Enzo Fernandez. He only lasts 30 minutes. The issue that I've got, and I want to get into the positives here because I'm still flipping buzzing that we're through, but why is Enzo the furthest forward and Gallagher's the deepest? When Gallagher's getting the ball, I thought Gallagher had a good game today. A lot of people rinsing me for that on Twitter because I think it's either you love Gallagher or you despise Conor Gallagher. Gallagher would win the ball and he would drive forward. So in that case, we wanted to see an Enzo Caicedo pivot partnership, whatever that may be. Let Enzo sit there and get the ball to Gallagher when he's already in a more advanced area. Stretch that Newcastle midfield some more. I'm sorry, I can't keep going with the ultra negatives right now. So we move into box number 5, and it is a green for Mykhailo Mudryk, who comes on, and there are 3 moments here that will identify this as a big moment for Mudryk. I'm not going to go out there and say it's a watershed moment. He's now going to become the best winger in the league. The first thing that he does when he comes on is kind of just give the ball back to Dubravka and Newcastle. I'm like, all right, mate, kind of expected that from you. Sterling comes off. We think we're going to get something different. We didn't. Then Mykhailo Mudryk in the 92nd minute capitalises on a horrific error from Kieran Trippier, who arguably has one of the worst games he will ever have, with 2 massive mistakes, misses the penalty, misses the header, and Mudryk pounces on it. This is where we need Mudryk to be. When Chelsea are chasing for a goal late in the game, you need your fast players to be alert. You need them to be ready. He's lurking at that far post. The ball comes in, capitalises on the mistake. He runs onto it, and the finish is excellent. It's not an easy finish. To anticipate that, to hit that, to know exactly the point in which to hit it before it starts to bounce, and then you're either blazing it over the bar, you're mishitting it, you're rushing. The game was nearly dead for Chelsea, but we get the ball in there, and Mudryk finishes it, and as well as that, he also scores his penalty emphatically. I look at the run-up and I'm thinking, looks like a little bit of a short run-up here from Mudryk, and it would be the most Mudryk thing in a Chelsea shirt to summarise his Chelsea career if he scores a 92nd minute equaliser to take it to penalties, and then he gives the ball to a Newcastle fan in the crowd, but he doesn't. The penalty was excellent. Chelsea's penalties, by the way, we only needed to take 4 of them because we got big Petrovic in goal, mate, and Kieran Trippier had an off day. Maybe he wants to move back to London. It was absolutely massive. Box number 5 is for the penalties. I was thinking, do I give it to Petrovic? And I thought, no. You know what? For Chelsea to win it in that manner, I think could be even better than actually beating Newcastle in 90 minutes. It's electrifying. Well, as a fan, when you're watching that, you flipping hate it. The penalties were perfect. Petrovic went the right way for every single one apart from the Bruno pen, and he did that little thing, but maybe he shouldn't even have been on the pitch as he tried to flipping drop kick Ian Maatsen in the face in the 95th minute of the game. Chelsea are into the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. Before I made this video today, I made the match preview where I said to you guys, this should be the biggest game of our season. I don't think we're going to go anywhere in the league. I don't think we'll be consistent enough. The Carabao Cup, when you look at the teams left, if we can somehow avoid Liverpool if they beat West Ham in the semis, We should win this competition. With Fulham left, with Middlesbrough left, this is a chance for Pochettino to win a trophy in his first season at Chelsea. And tonight, we have dominated Newcastle. Didn't play very well, still. We're still learning. I'm going to say that for now. But there are massive positives to take here. We're into a semi-final of a major English domestic cup competition, and we win it in style. Emphatic. 92nd minute equaliser and a domination in the penalty shootout. If you guys enjoyed this 6 Things We Learnt video, please hit the like button on it. Subscribe to GBFC if you are new around here and haven't already done so. And I will see you guys later with a brand new video where we can go into more depth about this game. Come on, you Blues.